Hello, fearless listeners and viewers. Welcome to the Diaries of Badass Bosses podcast. I'm Joyner-Platt.
And I am Tigz.
And we are back for season 2. Welcome. We're going to dive deep into the lives of extraordinary individuals who redefine what it means to be a boss.
That's right. This season we have lined up a stellar cast of guests who have shattered glass ceilings, forged their own paths, and inspired change in their respective fields.
I mean, we're not talking about traditional CEOs here. Our guests include entrepreneurs from a wide range of industries, making waves, challenging the status quo, and sharing their stories behind their journeys.
So whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, a budding leader, or simply someone who loves hearing about tales of triumph over adversity, then you're in the right place. This is where stories of badass bosses come to life.
And as always, we are joined by our incredible producer, Connor Wells, who always makes sure every episode is an auditory masterpiece.
Thank you, Penny and Tigz. I am thrilled to be back for another incredible series of inspiring stories and unforgettable moments. Get ready for an absolutely incredible ride.
So stay tuned as we embark on this journey to explore the lives, dreams, and fearless endeavours of some of the most badass bosses out there.
Buckle up, because season 2 of Diaries of Badass Bosses is about to begin.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Diaries of Badass Bosses. I'm Tigz and this is my co-host Penny Joyner-Platt.
Hi everyone.
And we're so excited to be bringing you another dose of badass boss energy this week. How has your week been?
Really good. We've actually been celebrating Everything podcast, and actually as part of it, because it was International Podcast Day. I just got to mention we've got these fabulous notebooks. Okay, each of us have one, and they were made by the amazing Joy.
Yes, and do you know what I love about them even more is that she's made them all very unique to us. So mine's got 2 pictures of me on, yours has 2 pictures of you, and then Connor's got a nice 50-50 mesh. Yeah, there weren't as many photos of you from that photo shoot.
I'm very BTS, but you can see my squinting smile at the bottom there, which is I love that.
Sandwiched between the rose between 2 thorns.
Exactly.
Plus, also your head is the biggest on the front. Like they definitely made you feature image at the front. So
yeah, and for those
you
of
saying
you
I've got a big head.
Well, I mean, she said it, so we're going to go with it.
Woke up and chose violence.
It's been one of those days. It really has. But for those of you that are only listening, I will explain that we've got these wonderful notepads for Diaries of Badass Bosses as part of International Podcast Day that have our pictures just slapped all over them. They're fabulous. And as I say, it was our wonderful Joy, and we've not actually introduced the wonderful Joy yet to our listeners and guests. But Joy actually helps us with everything social media marketing. She actually is a joy to our lives.
I know, it's the pun that never gives. Like, honestly, she's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Joy. We are so appreciative.
We love you, Joy.
Joy, you are a joy to work with.
Oh, honey, we've already covered that.
The worst part is that I know that you just press the button on that, which means a sound effect is on that, which is either going to be a cheer or a groan, knowing you.
It's the rim shot, so it does the
So cheesy.
Love it.
So cheesy. But what I do want to talk about today is the big platform that everybody feels like they need to be a part of, TikTok.
Yeah.
Which you are a part of.
I am a huge part of TikTok. Do you know what? I was a lurker for a really long time. I can't remember when TikTok.
Sounds so dodgy when you say it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's probably true. I was literally on there. Well, I think I must have joined in lockdown. I can't remember when it started.
So it was originally an app called Musical.ly where people would dance and lip sync to songs. That was literally what it was. Then TikTok, the Chinese company, or it has a parent company, bought Musical.ly and rebranded it as TikTok. Just before lockdown, I believe.
I didn't
realise
it was...
tidbit there for everybody. A bit of background information on the whole tickety-tock.
Yeah, it was called Musical.ly. But it was called something before that, I think.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what.
I mean, my husband just keeps referring to MySpace still. I mean, bless him.
No, Habbo Hotel.
Squared? No. It was this, yeah,
Club
sorry,
Penguin?
anyway. I digress to all the different old platforms. Anyway, going back to TikTok, is there a benefit? Does everyone need to be on it? Talk to me.
Well, so I lurked on it for a long time, and for me, I think, especially during lockdown, that was my platform that I was like, this is my joy platform. Like, I'm going to go on here, and I quite liked Vine back in the day, and I think there's quite a lot of similarities in content, or there was sort of when it started, between Vine and then obviously what TikTok was. And then we had a chat last year, or was it actually? It might have even been early this year, and you said, oh, I think I'm going to start doing some TikTok videos. Yeah. Tigz, you should totally get on that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I don't know.
It's actually Connor's fault, if I'm going to be honest.
It is, yeah. I'll claim that. I love it.
And I'd had this idea for a long time that I wanted to do some sort of posing guides, or sort of... Originally, the idea was to have someone else and me film it and put it out there, but it kind of made sense. Oh, well, if I'm in this position, I might as well do it
literally
myself.
In this position.
Yes, perfect pun. And so I started putting content out there, and it had been a huge block for me for a long time, and I thought, I'll go and do it. And then probably about a month in, one of my videos went viral, and I think it was something like 70 or 80,000 followers in about a space of a month, I think. Yeah. And it absolutely blew up for me. And, you know, I've had to push myself out of my comfort zone to show up, but actually it's working really well for me.
And a lot of people are afraid of doing videos, you know, and that's why there's a fear element as well for some clients, whether you're kind of startup business and they're kind of like, I know I need to be on it, but I'm not necessarily sure if I kind of want to be videoed. I feel like part of what I do is the consultancy side to kind of help give people that confidence and that support to guide them into the way in which you can go about doing it. Because Connor, I'm right in saying it doesn't always have to be the individual speaking to a camera.
No, with video, you can do anything. You can literally just sit there at your desk typing. You can literally just look at the camera, point to something, or, you know, set the camera down on a tripod and just walk past it. You can put any caption to it. It doesn't have to be that hard. Whenever I say to like my clients, or whenever I'm doing shoots for, whether it's Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, I always remind people that your first videos are your worst videos. But it's not always that deep, because the internet moves so quickly, so quickly. Like no one really remembers that well. Do you know what I mean? Just you. But then in the long run, like say like Tigz, you've got inquiries and like potential bookings that are posting on TikTok.
I think that's the important thing, is that it's actually how it helps your business.
Exactly. So for me, it's been really, really beneficial. And
same for me.
And yeah, I mean, well, especially for Connor, because you're the one that helps me record and video a lot of my content. And that's a service that you offer for other people, if anyone is out there who's like, I want to start showing up and I need some tech and some help and some guidance and support. Connor, do you want to give a cheeky plug here?
If you'd like to be an internet sensation like Penny and Tigz, get in touch. Link in the bio.
He's our producer.
Exactly. But we actually are talking about this for a reason, because our guest today has done that very thing.
Yes. So we met our guest today at a networking event about 3 months ago.
2 months, yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
And we were sat opposite sides of a table, and she asked me for she's like, oh, are you in TikTok? Follow you? She's like, you're that girl that poses on TikTok. And then I went home and then sent her a message and went, oh my God, you're watermelon soap girl.
Love that.
And that is the power of TikTok. So today we have the absolute pleasure of introducing you to Zoe Tildesley.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no,
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us. And always, as well, I always say to Zoe, she does travel far. She comes from the Midlands, from my hometown.
Yes, I come from Leicester, so it's all right though. It's
Welcome. How is the Midlands?
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Just weather's just as great as it is here.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Actually, the weather's not, I don't know.
It's a bit grey today, actually. Yeah.
I'd love to say I was awake this morning when I got in the car, but honestly, I just sat. I was passenger princess.
I was going to say, I hope you weren't driving if that was the case.
No, I'm not functioning before 9 o'clock. So
Okay.
So let's introduce you and your fabulous self. I've got a little thing here written down. Zoe Tildesley is the founder of Into the Eve, sellers of cruelty-free, vegan and eco-conscious soaps and body products handmade in the UK. Discovering a passion for soap making in 2019 while she was trying to find ways to be more sustainable, Zoe started the company from a spare bedroom in November 2020. Quickly outgrowing the space, she relocated to the garage by July 21 before moving into her current workshop in Melton Mowbray in April 2022. Fast forward to 2023 and the company has grown so rapidly, taking on 5 additional employees in a 2-year period, that Zoe will soon have to start looking for a second premises. Growing a social following of over 180,000, as well as serving several thousand loyal customers around the world, Zoe has made some huge waves in the soap making industry in just a few short years, and we are so excited to hear her top tips and advice on running a successful online product-based business.
That sounds really good when you put it like that. I'm impressed with myself.
Oh, well, I mean, you should
we finish
be.
there? Should we just stop
I'll
right
go
there?
now, that's it. Great.
I mean, all of this was taken from your website, so clearly you've done an
I know,
excellent job
but
of
it's a
PRing
long
yourself.
time since I've spoken about myself in such a nice way. So,
Oh,
yeah.
well, it's all true. That's the main
It
thing.
is, yes, it is. But gosh, yeah, it's been a journey. But you are right. TikTok has been the foundation of our business growth for sure,
Wow.
which we can get into. But
Love that.
yeah,
And you're so fresh-faced as well. I think this is the thing, people who, we run our businesses, sometimes we look like the weight of the world is on us because we're showing it on our face. But no, Zoe is sat here with a beautiful fresh face.
Thank you.
And obviously takes it all in her stride. So applause.
gosh, I don't feel like I do. No, it's tough running a business though. It's so tough. But yeah, on socials I do try and be my positive self because I am 99% of the time. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that shows on socials too.
Oh, it
Definitely.
absolutely does.
Well, talk us a bit about the process of setting up your business. Did self-employment come naturally to you?
Yes. So my whole family actually are self-employed in some way, shape or form, but especially my parents. So we can get into that later on if you like. But no, everyone in my family is self-employed. So I always knew that I would have a business of some kind. That's just the path I was going to take. But in terms of the business Into the Eve, the business that I'm doing now, it came about because, like you said, I was trying to become more sustainable. So with that, I was using the shampoo bars from Lush, absolutely loved them. And I was like, this would be a great business. Because at the time, no one was using shampoo bars. And I was like, this is amazing. Anyway, at that point, should I say, I was living in Australia. Fast forward a couple of years, I moved back to the UK, got a job. When my first paycheck came through, I thought, great, this is the time I can start formulating, I can start doing my research and really get into this new path. Realised shampoo bars are not so easy to formulate. So that path went down soap making because, people that make shampoo bars also make soap most of the time. Just started formulating, posting all the videos. I've been making the products on Instagram, mainly for myself, just so I could watch back and think, oh, how did I make that soap? I'm going to watch the video back and I can redo it. And the videos just took off on Instagram. And we had, I think we got to 10,000 followers in 6 months. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start selling. And at this point, Reels didn't exist, by the way. So started selling and then Reels came about. And we were already making videos. So we just went viral and viral and viral and viral. It was just easy for me with the videos. So yeah, that's how the business came about in a very short-winded video explanation.
No, not at all. No, I think it's
amazing.
fascinating. That's the thing. I have to say, for all the journeys that we've heard, this is probably the quickest in terms of the way in which you've catapulted your business, and that's what I think a lot of people will be really excited to hear about. So please drop your comments as well on any platform that you're listening to this right now, because I know from my point of view I'm fascinated by this, because I actually obviously always talk to my clients about the importance of showing up, doing video and everything else. But do you know what it is? It's when you actually hear someone's real story, and that's how quickly it can happen. That's tangible. That is what people can take away.
Exactly. And I think you cover so many aspects within your social media content as well. And you covered briefly on it then about the difficulties of making the soap bars. And one of the things that I love watching your videos for is that you're quite honest and open about, it's things like people ask you about like soap scraps, because you know we'll get to that bit later. But remember, I've watched your content and you're like, actually, like the soap, there are ways that you have to do this, and there's certain rules and logistics. And I think it's a common misconception that making soap is quite easy, but actually there's so many rules and regulations, and you talk so openly with that knowledge.
I think the key for me, I'm an honest person anyway, like I feel guilty for having said what I actually think. So with social media, I think it's really important for me, and I think most brands actually, just be authentic, stop the bullshit and just be honest. Like, tell us what's happening, tell us the struggles, and just be open and honest. And do you know what, some of the biggest or best decisions that I've made as a business have come from being honest and open with the viewers. They've given me their feedback and said, oh, do this, and I'm like, great, let's do it. I mean, the soap scraps for one, I made a video, so this would have been 2.5 years ago now. I made a video on how I had all these shavings of the soap. So we shaved the edges, by the way, because they get quite sharp. So we shaved the edges off and I saved them all up, and I was like, I do use them, I promise, there's no waste here. And someone said, why don't you just sell them? And I was like, I mean, how did I not think of that? So I was like, okay, how could I sell these soap scraps, this soap waste that would otherwise, go to waste? How could I sell this but do it legally? And then I went down the route of, okay, well, there had to be separate batches, one type of soap per soap scrap bag, and we can do it like this. And I just documented the whole thing on socials. I was like, right, guys, soap scraps are now a thing. They're going to be available soon, And now what happens is whenever I do a soap scrap day, we sell out in the day, and some of our biggest days in revenue are from our soap scraps, which is amazing, isn't it? Everyone loves the waste. Everyone's just amazing. So
right. I've got something I need to say here, because I get this. This is what I call can't even say it. Creative Tourette's. Okay. Ideas pop into my brain as like I'm talking to people, and I've already come up with a platform for you. Zoe's Soapbox. You are so passionate. You are so, the way that you talk, that is your own individual platform to be able to put your thoughts and ideas across. Zoe's Soapbox. You heard it here.
Oh my
this is now a platform. I want to work with you on this, because I feel like there's something really beautiful in that. But it's just as she was chatting away, I was like, get off your soapbox, my gosh. And then all of a sudden it just clicked. There you go.
That's an idea. We need to chat more.
Yeah, we'll chat. Right, there you go. That's how brainstorms, like, this is how it happens. Sorry.
Love this podcast. Absolutely love it. And on the subject of soap scraps and soap boxes, and your zero waste policy, because you are a zero waste company, aren't you?
Yeah, as well. Do you know what? To be honest, I don't think zero waste exists. I've been on a journey of sustainability since we started, and I'm learning myself as we go along. I don't think zero waste is the word to use anymore. I think that's almost impossible. But we are as minimal waste as we could be. I mean, from day one, we've been plastic free, although till recently made a mistake. We'll get onto that. Well, actually, no, I'll get onto it now.
Yeah,
why not?
Go for it.
I'll tell you what. So, yeah, we've always been plastic free, to the point stickers. Do you know most stickers that you use have a plastic, adhesive. It's quite common knowledge now, I guess, but not when I started. So everything's always been plastic free. I decided to start making products in jars, our sugar scrubs, our whip soaps, our body butters, and I thought, oh yeah, glass jars, great, plastic free. Well, turns out it is the worst possible material in terms of sustainability to use glass. And second of all, I didn't realise, but the lid contains plastic.
On the inside.
And it killed me inside when I realised that, because I was like, I've always been plastic free and so proud of it. But no, we're going to change the packaging. But again, I'm always honest with that. I'm honest with that on socials and the website and everything. So it's not that I'm, hiding behind things like that. But yeah, I now go down the route of saying eco-conscious, because plastic isn't actually always the enemy, which is what I've realised. I'm not going to get into that, because I'm not a sustainability expert, and I don't want to spill the wrong facts. But yeah, we now say eco-conscious, but basically as minimal waste as we can be. We reuse like the tubs that our coconut oil comes in. We use those as the mixing bowls for all of our products until they break. Then they go in the recycling. And
your jar, you have a send back of jars as well, so people who...
We do, but we're going to be stopping that, because I have been talking to a sustainability expert, and he said, A, the glass jars, shite, stop it now. And he said, second of all, why on earth would they send them back? Because they're heavy, they're costing loads, it's bad on the emissions. They can just recycle them at home, it's bad. So we're going to be stopping that soon. Okay. But it's a learning process, and I'm going to make a video on it. I'm going to educate my viewers, and hopefully other businesses and people can just learn from like this little mistake, big mistake that I've made.
Yeah, but do you know what? That is it. I don't think there's any business person that's going to turn around and say, yeah, do you know what? We've had an easy ride and there's been no mistakes, because, you know, a skilled sailor doesn't learn on a
Yeah, that's
calm
true.
sea, you know.
I'm proud of my mistakes. I love it. It's just, I think the reason I don't mind them so much is because I don't hide behind the guilt. I'll just tell everyone about it. I'm like, guys, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. And it's not an easy, do you know what? It's not an easy process changing the packaging of a cosmetic product. 'Cause it means changing my cosmetic reports, changing the pictures that go on the government website. I've got pallets of them to get through. So it's not a quick process at all. But we're gonna get there.
And I think this speaks volumes to the content that you're putting out there. As we've said, your content that you're putting out is so authentic that you're sharing this stuff. And there's a lot of soap makers actually that do. I've seen them sort of showing up in your lives and commenting on it. It's such a community.
Yes.
And having these going through this process and being like, well, actually, you know, I've learned this. Let's all grow and rise, like a rising tide lifts all boats. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
Like that's what is amazing about the content that you're putting out there and sharing.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why so many people are drawn into your brand. You've expanded your team quite rapidly over the last couple of years, haven't you? What valuable lessons have you learned from that part of growing your business?
Do you know what? To be honest, this is another mistake that I've made. I did employ too quick recently. And I'm quite open about that. I've only just started talking about it. But, the first member of staff that I hired was Sarah, the lovely Sarah. She's watching.
Oh, shout out to Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
She was the first fundamental person that I needed, because I really struggle with my concentration and I really struggle with sitting down, writing tasks. And Sarah came in and she was like, I can do that for you. It's all good. And so she helped me with that, and she's just a star. She's still our admin queen. But she also helped me to produce the products too and manufacture them. So when she first started, she really just did everything with me. She was fundamental. And then Christmas last year, I was like, God, I cannot do Christmas again with just me and just Sarah. So I hired CJ part-time and my brother Zach, who is awesome. They're both awesome.
Keeping it in the family. I like that.
I know. He's so good though. So Zach manufactures products and packs orders, and CJ organises everything, but also packs orders, which is a perfect. That is that team there. Brilliant. And then, so I'm a bit of a tangent here. I love my tangents, don't I? But I went on a massive holiday at the start of this year. And so last year I was like, basically we make most of our income from going live on TikTok. And I was like, how am I going to manage 4 or 5 weeks without going live? My business is going to struggle a bit, to be honest. So I had the idea, I need to hire staff to do the lives. Anyway, got a bit scared about doing that. So I went live on my holiday, and that was that. And then summer this year, we were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So earning more money every month. And I thought, right, this is the time. I'm going to hire 2 more people full time to go live on TikTok all the time. They're going to be able to do it half the shift, the other half they can help me behind the scenes, the marketing avenues. But I didn't realise that actually the more you go live, it isn't actually necessarily parallel with more income, because the staff get ill and I find this myself, I didn't even realise, but shouting so long at the camera, going live every day, the energy it takes to go live for so long, you get exhausted and you get ill. Yeah. The viewers get bored if it's the same person all the time. They get bored of me if I'm live 24/7 and I'm live a lot as it is. And also they get bored. It's just get boring repeating the same things. So a little mistake hiring them for that role, but I've managed to turn that into a positive, because now they're both amazing, by the way. Tori and Ashton, they're awesome, but we've now realised actually they're both, well, I know this already when I hired them, but they've got really good skills in photography, social media, and just general knowledge and creativity. So now they're helping me on other social platforms that I just did not have the mental strength to look at before. So Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest. Nice. You're big on Pinterest.
Love Pinterest.
And just helping me push the socials a bit more consistently. So I've managed to turn a bit of a mistake into the best thing ever.
Brilliant.
But yeah, a bit of rapid growth. Yeah. But my team are amazing, and I really could not imagine being where I am now without them. They all have really crucial parts in how the business runs and how we operate. And yeah, it's just such a lovely team. But the growth, a little bit too quick, but lessons have been learned. I'm just making the most out of it, because I couldn't imagine them not being there. So yeah.
Nice. Love that.
I feel quite attached to some of them, actually, because there's 3 of you that go, like Tori and Ashton go live.
Yeah.
Actually, funnily enough, I don't end up seeing much of Tori. I think we clearly exist on different time planes.
She tends to be daytime.
There you go. I am a zombie at that point. So it's either you or Ashton that I end up watching. So you're currently developing your own whipped soap formula, aren't you? Because that's a big development for you this year.
Yeah, so whipped soaps was something I wanted to do from the day dot. If you don't know what whipped soap is, it's basically a surfactant-based soap. It's a fluffy soap, and a surfactant just basically means an ingredient that makes bubbles. So it's not a soap bar itself is its own surfactant. Whipped soap is a different thing. And I knew they'd be really, really popular. So we started selling them about 1.5 years ago. But basically, in the cosmetics world, it's not so straightforward to do things legally. So when you've got a product that contains water, it's aqueous, you have to get a preservation efficiency test, which basically just proves that the product is safe. So I didn't have the money when I first started to get those tests done. So I used a pre-made base, and we just added extra oils to it, the scents and the colours, and we went with it. Amazing. Until about 4 months ago, this supplier, shall not mention any names, but every cosmetic brand out there will know the one. Every batch I had, it was almost like it was meant to be. Shit batches, grainy, it was rock hard. How am I supposed to whip up this rock hard stuff? Anyway, and I just got fed up. It took us hours to prep it. It just was not worth our time. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not selling it anymore. I cannot deal. And I literally just threw, I just said, I can't. And I told the customers, I made videos about it. I was like, I cannot sell this anymore. And I was like, right, do you know what? It's my God-given sign that I've got to do my own base now. It's the time. I have the money now. I can do it. So it's been a long process. But our whipped soap base is made from scratch with my own recipe. It's a lot more gentle on the skin. It's still a surfactant-based whipped soap because that's what it is. But it's got cocoa butter and apricot kernel in.
Love cocoa butter.
Yeah, what just came out of my mouth? I don't know.
Verbal?
Talking too fast. I'm getting too excited. Slow down. But yeah, basically it can be used as shampoo, body wash, shaving foam, and just hand wash.
You can use it as shampoo.
Yes. Oh, it's basically a 4-in-1.
It is amazing. Actually, I'm going to use this period of time to tell you to reach down into your little goodie bag.
We do need to see some products now.
I didn't bring a whipped soap with me.
Okay.
They are so good, though.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically the new whipped soap is made from scratch. They're relaunching in a couple of weeks. Everyone's excited. I can't wait, but let me show you some of my goodie bag.
Yes, please.
I thought I'd bring a mix of different items to show you what we sort of do.
Ooh.
So if you are listening, not on the camera, I'm showing the TikTok and Instagram viral watermelon soap, which, do you know what? Controversial, not a big fan of it. Don't really like it myself, but it is our top seller. I don't really know why it goes viral. I think
it's
because
aesthetically
it's aesthetically gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I mean, it literally
Doesn't smell
looks like a watermelon for those people that are listening.
Does, yes.
So I mean, it's got the green and white base, which would be your skin, effectively, and then the beautiful pink with the black kind of speckly
poppy seeds.
Poppy seeds. It smells incredible. I mean, it's not even near my face, and it literally is like wafting. I wish we had I was going to say smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, need to get smell-o-vision. This will be Zoe's dream, because this is amazing. I love that. That's so nice.
Is that top?
Pineapple. Oh no! Do you know what? Okay, no, it looks the same, but this is okay. So Tigz is referring to our toxic waste body polish that I made for our limited edition Halloween subscription boxes. So you did have one of a kind there, but this is pineapple. In my opinion, it's so much better. Please give it a sniff.
Oh,
it's bright green and yellow. If you can get the lid off.
Oh wow!
I love pineapple.
Oh my god.
Okay, and I'm also going in for a whiff. Oh my gosh, that is stunning.
So a body polish is a sugar scrub, and ours are between 97 and 99% natural. They're packed with organic oils and butters, so they're not drying at all. They're really nourishing for the skin. They're actually quite oily, but that's because of the natural oils and butters.
Yeah.
But the sugar scrubs, they're great for buffing away dead skin cells, lifting up those nasty ingrowns before you want to shave, or just in general, like my boyfriend used it on his chin to get his ingrowns out, you know? So, you know, I've also got the matching pineapple body butter there as well.
Oh, now I love body butter.
So,
I'm such a body butter fan.
So our body butters are not a lotion. I think a lot of our viewers think that they're a lotion, and they're not. They're just basically organic oils and butters melted down, whipped up and piped. That one does have a pineapple fragrance and a little bit of colour.
I mean, I'm gonna say it looks so good to eat.
It
Like
does.
it, honestly, it looks
so
like
much.
a whipped ice cream, and I'm literally looking at it thinking, if I gave that to my kids, they'd be coming out with a spoon, you know, like wanting to dig in. Speaking on that, actually, can you use them on children in terms of the soaps?
Yes. So we have cosmetic product safety reports for all of our products, and they cover us for ages 3 and above.
Okay.
I could get extra assessments for babies, but that's not my target audience, so I'm not too fussed. But yeah, kids can use them. And to be honest, my brand is more about making soap bars popular, make them cool.
Well, this is it, because I was going to say, just from my kids' point of view, because obviously like teaching them to wash their hands after going to the potty. When they are aesthetically pleasing, we've actually been saying that, Chris and I at home, about getting the boys a soap for them that's theirs only, that looks really awesome. So I set you that challenge to make some soaps for Freddie and Ollie, because honestly kids do just want something visual, and then they'll want to use it all the more. So there you go.
Well, that's the point really, because my target audience is the younger audience, almost, like, you know, 20 to 35 year olds, because that's the generation that's going to be here the longest, the newer generations, if you will. So the aim is to just show them that sustainability can be fun. You know, if I was a kid, I'd love to use that watermelon soap. I would not have loved the Dove soap bars or the commercial bars. And also, did you know they're not even soap, they're detergents, by the way? Yeah, the main part about our brand is basically you're making soap bars popular again and just showing that they are cool. Because when I was a kid, I would have loved to use a watermelon soap over like a commercial bar, and just the plain boring ones, you know. And they're way better for your skin as well, these ones. So, yes.
Even holding this, I've never really loved soap bars. I find them really drying, but I'm holding this. I mean, not with any water, but I can feel like the moisturizer, like the oils and stuff in them, and like it feels great already.
Yeah, well, there's no extra nasty chemicals in there. It's just pure handmade soap bar, and we use a traditional method called the cold process method. So they are really moisturising and hydrating for your skin, but I love them. I couldn't imagine not using them now.
Honestly, Sarah, I think you've done amazing work here. Like, you've touched a little bit actually on this in terms of like supplier side of it, but what else are you facing in the industry right now as like your biggest challenges?
I think, do you know what? I am starting to feel the hit of people being a bit more conservative with their money at the minute, for sure. It's mad that it's only really just hit us, to be honest. I'm not really too sure why. I don't. Do you know what? I'm too much of an optimist to actually think about why people aren't spending. I just don't think about it. I'm like, I can do better. It's me. I can just promote it more. So I don't really. I don't know. I don't have any challenges in the customer sort of sense. And also, I feel this is a really boring answer, but I don't really have an answer to it, because I'm my own competitor. Like, I don't really compare myself to other people, really. Like, I just think, how can I do better? How can I do, what else can I do? So I don't really have any external challenges that I can think of. I'm going to be driving home tonight thinking I should have said that, but
no. I like that. I think that's a good answer. I think that, and it's true to yourself. And like you said, you know, you're transparent. So I feel like if you're, you know, concentrating on yourself and your business, why not? Like, it's a great answer.
And as a very personal brand, you know, we always say, like, know, like, and trust. People buy from people.
Yes.
So you're putting yourself out there. And I wonder, actually, if there's an element of, you know, like in the war where when everything was rationed and people were really struggling with money, and the thing that women kept buying was red lipstick because it was like their treat. And I wonder whether, speaking with a full face of red on today, whether actually maybe your products fall into that category. It's that treat that they can buy, that when times are tough and they're not going, you know, they're not buying the fancier food, or they're not going on that holiday, but actually to look nice, smell nice, feel good. Maybe that's the reason that you haven't had that. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. And I think maybe, if I'm being deep about it, I think the only reason we're feeling the hit at the minute is because it's summer and we've taken our top selling product away, the whip soaps. But they're coming back soon, so it's all right. Yeah. But yeah, no, I never, to be honest, I found COVID, obviously, I think most businesses did. Wow, business was flowing. Yeah. It's definitely slowed down a little bit since then.
It's because you were included in their strapline, that's why. Wash your hands.
True, that is very true. The amount, do you know what? I had to block the word gloves on my TikTok account because, why aren't you wearing gloves? Do your research. That's what I'm going to say to that. But the amount of people that will comment on my lives and my videos saying, oh, I'm not buying that, you're not wearing gloves. You went to McDonald's earlier, were they wearing gloves? I don't think so. But you're eating that food. Like, obviously I'm washing my hands and we're following good manufacturing practice.
I love you. I do.
Do you know what I mean?
I genuinely love you.
And do you know what? While I'm on this topic, the complaint we get the most, I made a video about this the other day, the complaint I got the most is, oh, I really love this product, this whip soap or this body butter that I got, but there's just so many air bubbles and it's not filled to the top. I didn't really feel like I was getting my money's worth. But you buy a packet of crisps and it's not filled to the top. Like,
I got crisp packets are always empty.
Oh yeah.
You're buying it on the weight, not on how beautiful it looks. I mean, at Christmas, because it needs air to move, I get that. But, you know, anyway.
Yeah, but what, I guess the same with whipped soap. I mean, if you crammed it all in there, it's not going to be whipped anymore.
It's not whipped, is it? Whipped means it's got air in it. Like, oh. But do you know what? I love it because that gets me more videos I can make and more views and then more customers off the back of it. So I love those comments, really.
So you do have someone that works in customer service, don't you? It's not you responding, because I'm just a bit concerned about
Luckily, it is not me. No, do you know what? I'm too much of a sympath? What's the word?
Empath. Sympathy, not empathy in this room.
I'm too nice, which is why I've got Sarah on customer service, because I take everything to heart and I'm too like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, let me fix this. So luckily I have nothing to do with customer service now, thank gosh. When Sarah goes on holiday though, I wake up so anxious, I get so scared because it's my baby, my baby business, you know. That's
fair enough.
And I really take it to heart because I think you've seen me on socials, you bought from me, my face, and now you're coming at me telling me you don't like something. But no, you know, in all seriousness, we are a business and that's what we're here for. So,
well, honestly, I'm loving this interview so much. So talk about the brand a little bit now. So how do you keep the brand kind of fresh and exciting for clients?
Well, I think first of all, we have our morals. Our morals have never changed. Our morals are still our morals, you know, vegan, cruelty-free, eco-conscious, handmade from scratch, you know. So that's always been our morals. I think that makes it easy for me making videos because I'm just myself and organic. But in terms of keeping things interesting, do you know what? It's easy, just new scents and new products. Everyone's a sucker for a new scent or a new product. Like, we're actually going to change. So this year, we've been in business now for almost 3 years. First year I did monthly drops. The second year we did seasonal, and the same this year we did seasonal. So like summer came out in like May or something, or June, and that stayed with us for 4 months. And I just find that didn't actually work so well because people just got a bit bored after a while. So 2024 we're going to go back to our monthly drops, new scents every month, you know, restocks every month, and it just keeps things fresh and interesting for us going live on TikTok and for the customers too. And yeah, it's easy for us to keep things interesting. Just new products, new scents.
Love
easy peasy.
That. Yeah.
And you've got your seasonal boxes
and
your advent calendars.
Yes, we have actually. So we do have sub boxes, subscription boxes. We have a few different types, but the one that is massive for us are our seasonal quarterly subscription boxes. So we do them every 3 months. Everything inside is exclusive. It's a good deal. You're getting like a really good deal with it. They cost £45. Oh my gosh, I'm just have to second guess myself.
45 including postage.
That's it. 45 including postage.
Can you tell I'm such a sucker for your stuff, honestly. I've totally subscribed. Yeah.
Top fan here. Top fan.
So they're £45 including postage, but they always contain over £50 worth of products, and everything inside is exclusive and they're made for the box. So we do them every 3 months. They're seasonal, they're themed. We just did the Halloween one. So we had inside a soap bar. I don't have one with me, but it was a black soap. It had straps on it like a mummy. We had the toxic waste body polish, a vampire body polish. I can't remember what else. This is so bad, isn't it?
The pear.
Oh yes, the English pear and Frisia body butter, which we called. Gosh, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it's called.
My brain was onto the next thing way too quick. I've actually forgot about these already.
And there was a pumpkin soap. Pumpkin soap.
Oh yes, there was a pumpkin soap. Thank you. But yeah, they're always seasonal. They're always themed. That keeps things interesting. And we're doing advents this year as well, which we've started doing pre-orders for, which is just really exciting. And yeah, loving it. Keeps things exciting for us too.
I feel like she should do a Tigz and a penny soap.
Oh.
What colour and what scent would there be though?
Oh.
I think she'd be spicy. You'd have
Do you
to be
think so?
spicy.
Oh, but you know what? Probably, yeah. Probably would be spicy.
Okay, yeah.
But then at the
Bit
same
of glitter.
Yeah, absolutely. But then I think most of the scents that I wear, actually, despite being a spicy human, is actually I'm quite a fruity person.
Bit of both never harms anyone.
Fruity.
Yeah.
So, like mango, passion fruit, like that's. But then, I don't know, anything fruity. I think.
I think mine would have to probably be intense and
Okay.
fiery. Definitely intense. Too much.
Maybe
It's
this is it.
But I'd have to just be a very small soap bar because it's too much.
Chili soap.
In small samples.
I'd put the smallest quantity of fragrance in ever, wouldn't I?
I'm feeling like a lot of ideas are coming out of this podcast.
I know.
By the time this episode is aired, we're probably going to have some kind of like collaboration.
This is
soap
me on the
deal
daily.
going on.
It's ridiculous. I literally have to like write down these thoughts as they come to me. The other night, 2 days ago, I couldn't sleep for 2 hours because someone commented on one of my videos saying, is your mum Sue Pryke? And I was like, oh my God, I can't sleep. I need to make this video. I can't wait to make this video. Oh my God, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that about her. And I couldn't sleep. And the first thing I did when I got to work, I made this video about my mum. And I loved it.
Well, going on to that, let's talk about your mum. Go on.
On that note, so my mum is called Sue Pryke, and a lot of you might not know who that is, but she was a judge on season 3 of the Great Pottery Throwdown. She's big in the ceramics world. She's very well known, and she also designed loads of things for IKEA over the years. I think she's worked with them since like 1994 or something. But she was a big part of the 365 Plus range, which I think we all have in our houses. So you know those cheese graters that like have the bottom and the lid and the grater. She designed that.
Amazing.
I know, that's not always everyone. Who doesn't have that? If you don't, you need to get one because that game changing.
Iconic.
She designed so many mugs, plates, tableware, glassware, even wardrobe.
She belongs in everyone's home in some form or another. I love that.
If you tip over some of your IKEA bowls or plates or cups at home, I guarantee it says her name on the bottom of it. If it doesn't, it's probably because it's a new one. I think after like 10, 20 years or something, they stopped putting the name on it. But yeah, she's cool. My dad's cool too. He works in woods and concrete. He's not as famous, he's not like as known as my mum, but he's cool. Very, very creative.
Oh, I love that.
So I get my creativity from them.
Oh,
but yeah,
wonderful.
I love my parents.
And talking of family and that, tell us about your life balance. How do you ensure? I mean, you obviously you're
there isn't
full
a
of
balance.
energy.
There's no balance whatsoever. I'm trying to work on that. As Tigz will probably know, I am at work till midnight most nights.
Yeah.
I just love it. No, I'm really trying to work on the balance though, because I do get very stressed and very overwhelmed, and I really, really struggle to find the balance. But when I am trying, I do try not to have the weekends off. That's a big thing for me. Sometimes work a little bit at home. But no, weekends off for me is what I try and do. I try and have like one date night booked a month or something, or like, you know, something with my mates or something like that. But I have no tips on the work-life balance because I don't really have one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Super honest. We love it.
Yeah.
I'd love to say I have huge work-life balance, but like apart from taking my weekends back, I'm pretty much me as well. So no judgment from me.
But it's what happens when you do what you love, you know?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Do you have any app technology or any software that really helps you, or like you couldn't do your job without?
Yes. Came across something called ClickUp a few months ago. Game changing. So I did start to use it originally for my content planning, which I can show you behind the scenes because I could not describe it over here. It's not straightforward, but I don't use it because it's too much effort for me. But I don't know. I did this whole thing. It took me like 6 hours to like put it all together, and I just realised I'm just not going to keep up with it. But ClickUp is amazing. It's like a to-do list platform. It's kind of like Trello board, but on steroids. It's amazing. So like you have the app on your phone, you've got it on your laptop, everything, and basically you just make to-do lists. So every thought that I have, every little thing, even if it's, oh gosh, don't forget to put a label on that soap bar that's been stressing you out, write it on your phone, and then you tick it off when you're done. But you can also delegate those tasks to your colleagues. So it's just been game changing. And then I get a notification when they've done it or if it's in progress, and that really just helps us all stay streamlined and just stay on track.
Nice.
And yeah, that's a big one, but that's probably about it, to be honest. Yeah.
So give us what's the best piece of business advice you've ever been given?
Do you know what? I've not really been given any business advice. So nothing that I've been given, but I can give, I guess my only advice that I would give people is just be authentic and stick to your morals. Like, it's so easy to take the easy route and the easiest way to make money quicker. Like, I could easily just get rid of the glass jars, turn it to plastic jars, save loads of money, mass produce them, and, you know, whatever. But it's not about the money for me, it's about the morals, and I just do it because I love it, you know. So I think stick to your morals, as hard as it is sometimes. Remember why you started and just stick to the reason you started and your morals, and, you know, you'll go a long way because of that. Yeah, so
Nice.
That's what I would say.
And if someone was thinking of starting or becoming more sustainable, or starting a more sustainable business, what are some tips that you could give people in that area?
Do your research and take your time. Be prepared to spend a little bit more money than you probably would have done if you didn't take the sustainable route. But do your research more than anything. And again, I think just sort of iron out what your morals are before you start. Because again, mine was plastic free originally, which is quite naive. So now we just say eco-conscious, because plastic free again isn't necessarily the best thing ever. So I think just do your research, outline what your morals really are, and then it will all fall into place. Yeah.
Nice.
The good thing is, I think, carrying on now, but when I first started, which was only 3 years ago, there wasn't any brands that use packaging like us, like the gum tape, the water activated gum tape or biodegradable stickers. It was really hard to find suppliers for those. And now it's really easy. So I think if you're starting a brand and sustainability is at the heart, then it's a lot easier now than it was a few years ago. So just do your research.
Nice.
Easy. Yeah.
So we always do our quickfire round. We do love this on the podcast. So just basically give us it quick, whatever comes to your head. But what would you say is your best business accomplishment?
Oh gosh, nothing's come quick. Oh my gosh. Biggest accomplishment, I guess. Do you know what? Just going viral, actually. That's pretty impressive. The what's the word? Like the kick you get out of going viral, nothing beats it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I have to say, actually, when Tigz was going viral, she was literally just like,
I'm on my phone, like,
glued
oh my
to
God.
her phone.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it was just like, oh my God.
No one talks about the slumps after you finish going viral, which is, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing mentally ever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've had my clients like messaging me going, oh, now what? We can make another one.
I'm back to 300 views. What happened?
Stick to it.
Yeah. And what's your best productivity hack?
Setting timers for sure. Set a bloody timer, because I talk on tangents. You haven't seen me work. I start a 10 million task before I finish the first one. Set a timer and stick to it.
Love that.
Be harsh on yourself. I had to say it out loud sometimes. Zoe, get back to it. To get back on it.
Are you a Pomodoro person, or are you a phone timer, or how do you do your timers?
Phone timer, but you did put me onto this in the last networking event. What's that? Is that what it's called?
Pomodoro, yeah.
I need to get onto that.
You can buy them on. You can buy all good places online, but they're like. Obviously, it's a 30-minute timer, but you can buy them. They're tomatoes, and you just sort of like twist them, and it's a 30-minute timer. And you have 30 minutes, or whatever time you set. You can only work on that one specific task. Can't check your phone. You can't do anything.
The tomato thing, isn't that from the kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh right, I was gonna.
Yeah.
say
when you first told me that I thought it was like an actual like timer that had different like sides on it. I completely.
Oh yes.
Oh, is that something else?
Yeah. So I have one at home. I can't remember what it's called now, so I'll put it in the show notes. But I basically have this like 20-sided dice, and it's linked to an app on my phone, and I've put a sticker on each side. So one is like phone calls and emails and photography, retouching, all that kind of thing. And it sits on my desk, and then I turn it, it's like a dice, and then whatever is on the top is what it's recording what I'm doing at the time. And it all tracks to my phone, tells me how much time I'm spending in my business on each project. Time flip, that's what it's called. But it changes colour every time, and it sort of flashes at you, and you can set it for like 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever. So every 10 minutes I get a flash of colour, and I'm like, am I still working on that, or have I been distracted? And
so it helps with your procrastination.
And also 100%. You know that if you're spending too much time on one task and you're like, oh, I shouldn't be spending too much time on that as well. So that's quite good. Let's get on that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and what is the one thing that the internet doesn't know about you? I know you're quite young, so I'm sure most things are on there, but...
I think most things are on there, but one cool thing is I used to be a swimmer, and I'm a very good swimmer, actually. So I used to compete nationally, internationally, and when I just turned 15, actually, bigging myself up here, just turned 15, I actually qualified to go to the Commonwealth Trials, which basically, if I won, I would have gone Commonwealth Games, which I wouldn't have, because I was like the slowest there, but like I qualified to go there, and I was the second or third fastest 15-year-old for the 50-metre freestyle, and I just turned 15 in the whole of Britain, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I used to love swimming, but I think that's taught me the discipline and just like I don't know, just taught me loads. So
fantastic.
The internet does know that, but you'd have to dive deep. I know my whole name.
Literally dive deep. Nice.
If someone invested 50k in your business right now, what would you spend it on?
Easy. Packaging, marketing, and also the cosmetic product safety reports for EU. I need to ship to the EU, but it's going to cost me loads of money, like 10k. Easy.
Yeah.
So if someone has 10k right now, if they could just slip that in.
That's what the first thing is, the EU shipping. I'd do it straight away.
Nice.
Yeah. Fabulous.
That's what I need to do.
And we have an internet search history question.
Love this one.
I had to dive quite deep for this one. Found your personal Instagram account.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
In March 2022, found a photo of you skydiving in Dubai.
Oh.
Tell us about some of the other epic adventures that are on your bucket list.
Oh, do you know what? I'm not really one that has a bucket list like that. The skydive was just because my mate wanted to do it, and I found it quite boring to be honest. Got halfway down, I thought, this is so boring, get me down.
Only Zoe would say a skydive was boring.
So I don't really have things like that. But
it just took too long.
Yeah.
It took too long to come back down to
The
earth.
sky to the earth is a long way.
Yeah, God.
Genuinely, the first bit's amazing. You're like, oh God, it's pulls on your groin. You just stuck to a person. You're like,
It's not attractive, is it? It's not a good
I'm
look.
just bored. But no, I don't really have bucket list things, but I just love travelling. I would love to just, if I could make this business work around travelling, I absolutely would in a heartbeat. And I think that is my 5-year plan, to be able to pull away a little bit, where I can maybe open another branch in a different country and run it, still be the face, because I would always love to be the face, and I know people buy from me mainly, and just do it around travelling. That is my goal with a show.
And that's so feasible. That's the
So
thing.
I've lived in Australia and I would like to live there, but I think travelling wise, I'd love to do like Peru or like a bit of America, or I haven't done the typical Vietnam and stuff. I'd love to. Is it Vietnam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do all that typical. Nowhere in particular. I'm too blasé. Like even Australia was like, I saw a Facebook ad, do you want to be a swim teacher? I was like, yeah, cool, applied, got the job. I was like, oh, I guess I'm going in 2 months, cool. Went. And I was like, okay, that's the first thing. I don't think too far ahead. I think when you do that, shit goes down the pan, you know? So you just
well, our next question was going to be, what does the future look like? But no,
I don't.
How does next week look?
I also don't know that, to be honest. Not gonna lie, I'm very, very, very spontaneous. Like me booking this in was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna stress now, because what if I accidentally double book because I forgot I've got to do this?
You forgot about our podcast. Oh,
imagine if I did though.
How rude.
No, you know what? The only plan thing is the travelling and the work, because that's a need, you know. Apart from that, I really don't plan ahead. Which, if I had like a business investor, isn't probably the best thing to be saying about. But you know, there isn't really. I've got big hopes for Into the Eve, but.
Exactly.
Just,
don't need an investor, doing it on your own.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's 10 grand for that EU.
Yeah.
It's just going to magically appear in your account.
It will. Just manifest it, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
It will come.
So before we wrap up, is there any final piece of wisdom or advice you'd like to share with our listeners?
Just do it. Do you know what? That was my what's it called? Lock screen for ages. Just do it. And I know Nike says that. Big up Nike. But just do it. The things that you want, the things that you are putting off, like this. I was so nervous coming here when you first told me, but I was like, no, I've got to do it. The fact I'm nervous, I've got to do it. So just bloody do it. If you're worried about starting TikTok or starting Instagram or starting, you know, posting on a different platform, what is the harm in starting?
Yeah.
You're going to be rushed when you first start, but you know, just do it.
Yeah, like Connor said, you're not as bad as your first video.
And also, sorry, another thing to add. Do you know what? You know, because in your head, you know what you're capable of achieving, or I do anyway. Because I'm like, I just know that I can do big things.
I love that attitude. Yes,
but I've got to remind myself sometimes that I haven't done it yet. So I can't relax yet. I've got to keep doing things because I haven't done the things that I know I can do, or I am capable of doing. Like no one can applaud anything just yet because it's in my head. I've got to do it first. So sometimes I get my foot off the pedal a bit. I'm like, no, Zoe, let's keep on going.
Do the damn thing.
I haven't done it yet. Just
do the damn thing. Yeah, I love that phrase.
Just
definitely.
go for it. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I have so enjoyed this podcast interview. It's just been so much fun. And I know I've got a lot out of it. So I only can envisage the same for you listening and watching this at home. If there's any questions that you've got that you actually would like to put to Zoe, please, by all means, do put them in the comment section on whichever platform that you're using, and we will certainly get Zoe, and I'm sure she'll do a video for you.
I will always do a video.
Personal video directly in response to your question. But yeah, no, honestly, it's been such a pleasure, and I can't wait. I could talk to you more and more and more. So I think we could definitely do a, comeback.
Definitely.
A catch up, see where you're at, because I think that would be fabulous. But thank you
so much for having me. Really enjoyed this. Yeah.
Well, for those of you, thank you for joining us as well for another fabulous episode of Diaries of Badass Bosses. We've got another amazing guest. I mean, we're just here every week for your pleasure with somebody else who has really broken the mold, really changed things up for their own business. And so if you're thinking about starting your own business, or you're actually in your own business and you just want some top tips from people that are doing it right now and doing it well, please tune in all major platforms. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Well, that's it from me.
And from me. And we can't wait to join you next week with another dose of badass business energy.
Bye.